Hey, good evening, guys. Always happy to be here with you. I'm trying to adjust my camera here. Take some time. And in the interim, let's see who comes into the room. I think that looks good. So, happy Thursday, everybody. And I'm so glad to see you guys. Hey, Dimitri, how are you? Hi, Rafa, how are you? Definitely going to be having some talks. Hi, Tanya, how are you? And hi, Candelo, how are you? I'm going to be having some talks today, something that came up for me. I get really excited when I get information. How's it going? Because I love to share with you guys, For a long time, I wondered because I went through the process of becoming an ordained minister, and often ask Spirit and ask God, what was the purpose? Hey, Indra, of becoming that, only to step out of the tradition. But I'm sorry, sometimes people write ridiculous stuff in your inbox, and a ridiculous message just came through. But in any event, I really want to share this with you guys. So I was just saying that I went through a process. I asked Spirit, well, why did I learn all of this stuff? If I was going to leave this tradition behind. And I realized that Spirit had me learning certain things that are universal, that can be applied in all, court. Hello, Jose. So, hi, Joe. One of the things that came up for me today, and it's because of some of the things that are going on in my life, is the story about the temple or the tabernacle, where we often talk about the Holy of Holies. Hey, Sonia, your order's going out Saturday, okay? So when I thought about the Holies of Holies, I was thinking about the way that it was built, because the Israelites were lost in the desert for years at a time. So they had built this court, right? I think Aaron and his sons were the priest and the high priest or whatever. But there was a part of the tabernacle where people went to pray. And there was a part of the tabernacle where, they went, they washed their hands, they cleansed themselves, and they prayed. Then there was the outer courts. The outer courts were where the regular priests went, and they went to put up their prayers for their people. They were allowed there. Then there was what's called the inner courts. The inner courts were where the Holy of Holiest was kept. And it was kept behind a heavy veil, and only the high priest could enter there. Hi, Siwu. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Ryan. And only the holiest of holy, the high priest could enter the holiest of holies. And it could only do it one time a year, and that was during atonement. And I just thought about, well, if I had to talk to you guys today, the thing that kept coming in my mind is who has access to your inner courts. We often hear in many traditions that the body is a temple. And it's true. The body is a temple. It is where many go to worship. It is, we take care of it with food and exercise or lack thereof. We give too many people access to the inner courts. The inner courts are where the holiest of holies is kept. And if it's where the holiest of holies is kept, everybody can have access to your inner courts. See, because people only respect what they have to work for, right? So why would you give someone access to your inner courts if they haven't earned the right to be there? I used to be. And I'm playing off, Ralph, I'm answering you. I'm playing off that. But I use a lot of metaphors because I'm a writer and my name is Mother Metaphor. And I want to tell people that generally Your inner courts, I'm talking about your spirit right now. I'm talking about you, your personal body, your personal spirit, your aura, your mind. How many times have you formed relationships with people that weren't deserving of your time and your attention? My ancestors got at me this afternoon, and oftentimes when I speak to you guys, I've spoken to myself about the same thing 12 times over. There are too many people in your life right now that have access to you that shouldn't have access to you. There are too many people that are in your inner courts that don't even have the right to be in your outer courts. There are too many people that shouldn't even be allowed to engage in your courts. Rafa asked me just now, Mother Metaphor, how do you work off of examples that have no energetic, spiritual, or ancestral connection to many of the ones in which you are addressing? Perfect example, Rafa. I don't know if you got on earlier. I am a true believer in everything. There are no coincidences. And everyone and everything comes into your life to teach. I could be teaching from biblical. I could be teaching from Quran. I could be teaching from Torah. Whatever it is. My experience has led me through that path. I no longer follow that tradition because some of the things that I found, but I still see value in some of the things I've learned. And I'm using an example from that, but the whole thing is not about, I don't want to make it about the actual story of the inner courts. I just thought, because I love metaphors, how significant it is that we allow people. Okay, you want me to answer the question, Rafa? Because you are shooting questions at me. Now, let me just tell you this, and I'm going to be real with you. I never, ever say to anybody what they should believe, what they should know, what they should feel. My ancestral team has grounding in Christianity. So I got to respect the path that they walk. Do I truly believe everything that was said or done? Absolutely not. But I do know that when I go and I practice my ancestral worship and I put up my altars and things of that nature, that I have to respect what my ancestors followed so that the path can be made clear to what my true spiritual basis is. Now, we live what we learn and we learn what we live. I'm using a story from that as an example. If you find no value in it, that's fine. That is perfectly fine. But I'm going to use it for the sake that I know I can convey this message properly. Because it has nothing to do with the church or Christianity. What it has to do is you as a personal person. What I am saying, and I'm not going to change my message for one person because I know somebody here will get it, is that you are a temple and you have a spiritual body. There are too many people, but again, Rafa, because I'm not going to go back and forth, and this is the last time I'm going to address it. It's fine for us to agree to disagree, and that's exactly where I'm going. Now, getting back to what I was saying, as a spirit body, we got too many people that are in our cipher and in our spirit that are, what's the word I'm looking for? There are too many people in our cipher and in our spirit that don't belong there. We've had people for eons, and I say eons because I think it goes back generational, in our lines, in our families, where we've had and addressed people who had no business being there. What I'm trying to tell you, and I said this is very important. Okay, Rafa, have a blessed day. Today is 2 people, tomorrow will be 20. It always increases. You're always welcome to stay or you can leave. Bye-bye. So, and the only thing I keep doing wrong is respecting people like yourself and giving them audience. Okay? Because I know that everybody has a different thought process. Everybody has a different way of coming to their truth. And everybody has a different way of the truth being revealed to them. You've listened to me for all of, I'll say about 5 minutes. You have no idea of whom you speak to. Okay? So, here's what I'm going to do. Because you are really knocking off my energy, and that's not what I want to do. Now, the whole point that I am making is, guys, I really, really, really want you to examine who you let in your inner courts. What just happened was a perfect example. I come with a message, right? And because I have somebody who is dead set against Christianity, which is their right. You know, I got my issues with Christianity too. They decide that I represent that, and so they're going to attack me. I engage the person because I'm always trying to teach, I'm always trying to heal, and I'm always trying to help. But when it gets to a point where someone is attacking at a level where it starts to get you off track, you got to be okay with leaving behind certain people so that you can do what is necessary to be done. Blocking this person was necessary because they weren't adding to the message. They were taking away from it and attacking that which they do not understand. And you got to be okay with that, right? I'm okay with it. Exactly, Miss Pryor. I've never even spoke to this Rafa person at all. They got on, I welcomed them, and immediately the attacks began because I started with the base of Christianity. But this was a good story in Christianity that we need to apply. Not Christianity, the story. See, here's the thing. Back in that time, or even the person who wrote the story, it was about the discipline of who you let into your life. That's what I'm talking about. Having the discipline to release certain people. Having the discipline to say, you know what? You haven't earned the right to be here. Said it yesterday, I'll say it again today, about checking your toxicity levels. Oftentimes, people will attack you because your very presence is a trigger to the level of toxins that are in them, right? Because if someone does not trigger you, then you're okay with whatever it is that's going on at that time. Let me explain it. I'm not saying you agree with it. I'm saying, look, not my circus, not my monkeys, right? You ever heard that? Where someone will appear to you or something will appear to you and you may not agree with it, but you're not going to lose sleep over it because it's not something that's affecting you personally. But triggers are way, way important. It is so important because look what just happened to me tonight. A person, and I'm so grateful for this guy, whoever Rafa is, because what he did was he taught me a lesson within the lesson I'm trying to give you guys. By the way, I am reading tonight. I have my cards available. My Cash App and my PayPal are up. So if you guys want to ask a question, go right ahead. And when I finish talking, I'm going to start pulling based upon who wants a card pulled. The person popped up because Spirit was saying, let's see if you believe what you're about to tell these people. Who are you letting in your inner courts? Now, I am a Pisces to my heart. That means bleeding heart, open passageways. I got the heart of the people. I want everybody to be happy. I want to bring joy. But you can't make everybody happy. And trying to make everybody happy is not your responsibility. Trying to get everybody to see where you're coming from is not your responsibility. Here's the thing. We got to stop servicing other people before we service ourselves. How many times have you done that? How often do you send people into your inner courts, into your home, to straighten out the mess that you won't even look at? How many times have you cried out for help and you got help in some forms and denied it because you weren't willing to do the work? Spirit is saying now is the time. 2019 is the year. And I'm not saying that in the same vein that most people say that. A lot of people say, oh, everybody says every year, 2017 is my year, 2024 is my year. Here's the deal. 2019 is an opening gate. So many things have changed. We've never seen a life like this. We've never seen a presidency like this. We've never seen growth like this. We've never seen failings like this. Every time the world renews itself, and we're in a renewal process. It's coming. There are times when we have great depression, right? Where people are losing jobs and people can't feed their families and stuff like that. The Great Depression wasn't the first time it happened. It was probably the first time that it was publicized, because at that time we had so much growth in terms of communication. So it was recorded and publicized, and that's why you know about it. But the world is always renewing itself, and we're in a state of renewal. And if you don't get on board and renew, you will perish. Sharia says, I understand definitely. I'm a Cancer, and I have to remind myself that, you have other things to do. Exactly. It is so important and imperative that you do the work necessary for you. Here's my problem, and I'm going to share it. You guys know I always share, right? My problem is I'm so busy taking care of everybody else that I forget to patch the holes in the bottom of my own ship. So, you got to go in and do the work on yourself. Rob, shout out to Rob Watson today. Your post today was so on time. I felt like you were like sitting across from me and speaking to my soul, because I legit have done the same thing, sacrificing myself for other people. Like, if I give them what I think they need, they will give me what I definitely need. Hi, Sonoda. But here's the thing and the problem. I got to be willing to give those things to myself first. Once you are giving those things to yourself first, what ultimately happens is that people are attracted to that light, that goodness that you're giving yourself. And they're like, ooh, I went in on that. But you got to be careful. You got to know the difference between false light and real light. Lots of people learn your language. Understand me. A lot of people will learn your language so they know what to say to unlock the passageways to your inner court. This is what we all have to work on. And I posted this today. Align so well with yourself that Mercury retrograde can't fuck with you. And all of us need to do it, myself included, because I get so caught up. You ever heard that saying where people say like, oh my God, I just can't read myself well. Hey, April, I can't do this. Here's the problem with that. The only reason we can't read ourselves well, myself included, is because we're not doing the work that we need to do on ourselves, for ourselves, so that we can see bullshit coming a mile away. We can't see bullshit. Now, your spirit will say, you know what? That's bullshit. That bitch is bullshit. That nigga's bullshit. That guy is bullshit. That girl is bullshit. But your desire and need to be loved on a level that you won't love yourself is so great. You will fall for the okie doke. You don't even fall. We don't fall for the okie doke. We throw ourselves into the abyss of the okie doke. We say things like, In my heart, I know he ain't shit, but if I just show him a love like he ain't never seen, he'll love me the way I need to be loved. That's some bullshit.com. Understand what I'm saying to you. Clean up your inner courts. This, your heart, your bread box, your handle with a brush on it. I'm speaking to the men out there. Everybody can't have access to your inner courts. Close your gates. Learn to love yourself. Learn to make love to yourself. Love on yourself. What is this thing that we're doing to each other? And you know what? You know what happens when you are devoid of that kind of love and respect for yourself? You attract people who are devoid of that kind of love and appreciation for themselves. So they walking around in your inner courts. See my face? I'm trying to make my ugly face. And they trying to figure out how to love you. And they don't know how to love themselves. You understand what I'm saying? The blind leading the blind. This is not Bird Box. It is not necessary for you to poke out your eyes so you don't see the monsters. Because here's the truth. You are the worst possible monster. As a matter of fact, you're not even a monster. You're a monster. Because you're the star of your own monster show. You got people walking around in, up, and through you that have no business being there. People walking around in, up, and through you and speaking into your life. You are essentially taking your Jaguar to a Toyota dealer. If you don't understand, that's like some of us women. Why we be taking love and marriage advice from single women? Why you taking money advice from somebody in financial debt? Your words don't mean shit. Your outlook on life, what is happening, what you are physically doing will tell the story. You are not attracting from your higher self. You are attracting and attaching from your lower level. You have somebody inside pretending to be the great pretender. If I had a necklace, and I wish I had one on me, I normally do, where, you ever seen those necklaces that there's a bead and every drop down there's another bead and another bead and another bead? Well, let me just say to you that these beads are almost like your chakras and aligning shit within you. You need to align. There's a disconnect from here down to your solar plex. And I'm speaking to somebody tonight. I don't know who I'm speaking to. It's either somebody that was on the line that's going to see this live later, or someone that has passed through or is going to come on later. Stuff is out of line. And you need to fix it. You need to fix it. It's time to clear up the mess. It's time to escort people out. It's not too late to turn it around. We are all part of our circumstance. We all visit our circumstance. We all visit our situations. We all visit our problems, right? So I said the other night, the problem is that we don't know ourselves, and Spirit is telling me to repeat that. And that's going to be my mantra for this year. Take the time to get to know yourself, because you don't know yourself. By the time it was time for you to know yourself, you knew your trauma. You knew your hurt. You knew your pain. The only people that really, really, really get to know you, in most instances, because there's some that don't even know them in this instance, is when you became a parent and your pure love burst through those levels and your child got to connect with you and feel that love on a spiritual level. But most of you got to know your hurt. Most of you got to know your pain. Most of you got to know your trauma. Hey, cuz, how are you? So it's time to reintroduce yourself. Not to the rape victim. Not to the domestic violence victim. Not to the cheating victim. Not to the narcissist. Not to any of those things that your pain and trauma created. Not to any of those things that you speak from, you know? Like for years, I spoke from being the rape survivor. And that was who I presented to the world. That was the face I gave the world. And Spirit is saying, no, you know, a lot of that is about who they were. Let's talk about who you are past that, past the hurt, past the pain, past the killing fields. I said to a friend last night, a murderer murders one. A conqueror. A conqueror murders them all. So you're going to be a murderer or a conqueror? Because here's the difference. A murderer murders one person. They're often pursued by law enforcement. They're often locked up. They're often, put away, executed, right? A conqueror is celebrated by their people. A conqueror destroys on mass levels and kills as many of the enemy as they can. They level the joint. And they're celebrated for it. So what you gonna be? You gonna be a murderer? Or you gonna be a conqueror? Like I sent blessings to Rafa. He got on and immediately started attacking me regarding being a Christian and all of this stuff. And even when I answered and gave my truth, he continued to attack me. And that I didn't know what I was talking about and blah, 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 blah. Never mind that he didn't even let me finish what I was saying. Oh, now I see why you only got 2 people listening to you. Here's the deal. I don't care if I'm doing a live and no numbers ever come up. Why? Because I'm doing what Spirit instructed me to do. I don't do this for fame. I don't do this for fashion. I don't do this for popularity. I do it because it's what I'm called to do. My job is to do it. Spirit's job is to make sure it gets done. Sharia, yeah, hi John the Conqueror. It's important. Who do you want to be? Are you ready to conquer the bullshit in your life? Are you ready to cut off the people who have no value in your life? Has anybody here ever done gardening? Because when you do gardening and you go out, you have to prune your trees. There are going to be edges of your tree that are dead. Somebody gave me a money tree for Christmas, right? So I went through the tree when I got it. There were certain brown leaves and I went through it and carefully pruned the tree and removed all the dead leaves. It was necessary to cut off that which wasn't feeding me. Who in your life right now, there are 4 people on here that you have in your life that you know brings no value? None. And you're still entertaining. Your ancestors are tired. They got so much for you. They got so much get up and go for you. And yet, you're still entertaining people who can't turn the corner for you. Who ain't got a pot to piss in nor a window to throw it out. It's time to make the change. Hey, Beth. Cherie, I'm going to pull your card because I saw your donation. Thank you so much. Last night, I did a ritual for the new moon. It was so beautiful. Did an open roads and I did a Saint Expedite. Because so many of us need things to come like yesterday. Sharia, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So Spirit is telling you that you can't always expect or sit in expectation of things going wrong. You've got to let go of the darkness, the possibilities of darkness, and gain your cause. You have a cause. You have a purpose. You have something and things in mind to do. And Spirit is saying you can't do that if you got a hard grip on the darkness or that looming feeling that you are not going to be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish, or that you're going to have opposition in what you're trying to do. So Spirit is saying release that. Trust the process. Okay? Doors are going to open for you, but you have to hold on to your cause the way you were holding on to the darkness. And that doesn't mean that you were a bad person or you saw dark things or whatever. What that means is you were holding on to the expectation almost of failure. And Spirit is saying no. Expect a miracle every day. Okay, guys, if there's anybody else who has a question or they want me to pull a card for them, I'll be willing to do that today. Also want to tell you, if you have not seen it yet, I just put up the new oil list for Geechee Gullah Rooted. You can check it out at Geechee Gal Roots on Facebook. Okay, I'm working on some new things. I'm doing it by myself, but again, trusting the process that I'm going to be able to get it done. So many things are happening. Hey, Miss Moon Queen, how you doing? So, I'm trusting the process, knowing that Spirit is going to open doors like it never has. So excited. So excited. And you know what Spirit also did for me just now? Spirit said to me, if you're going to do this, if you're going to truly walk in your power, then you're going to have to toughen up. I am such... what's the word I'm looking for? Not a pushover, but I am I'm so sensitive, you know? Especially my heart being what it is, and I mean well, and I want the best for people and everything. And then I realize, like, the more I expose myself, the more I show my face, the more I talk to you guys, that I'm really, really opening in the door to me. And that means I got to get my emotional protections up. People like Rafa is going to come all the time. You're going to always smell some Christianity in my aura, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because guess what? I got decades of ancestors who were born, lived, and died in the Christian tradition. So I got to honor what they honored so I can honor them. That doesn't mean I walk the same path as them. That means that I walk this path that I'm creating, and that they make the way clear as I honor what they created for themselves, so I can get to the front of my ancestral line and go beyond Christianity. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Leah. Hi, Shina. And I'm just grateful. Guys, I'm doing readings tonight. So if you want a card, I have my cards now. I can shuffle and pull a card for you. I also believe in the spirit of reciprocity. So my PayPal is up. My Cash App is up. The minimum donation tonight, should you choose to donate, is $7.77. Also, I am up for just pulling cards. If you want me to pull a card and you don't have, that's fine. I'll pull for you as well. When you do have it, you'll have my Cash App. You can just send whatever you can send. That's a minimum of $7.77. I'm so grateful. So tonight, I ask, guys, that you do some sitting with your ancestors, do some prayers, play some gospel music, talk to them, let them hear you, let them hear from you. They promise that they will hear you. They promise that they will love you. They promise that they will honor you. Trust the process. Okay, guys, I didn't want to stay on for too long tonight. I made myself a promise that I'm going to try to get out here like every night, at least for 30 minutes, and talk to you guys, okay? I am really excited because I think in the last week of March, I'm going to put up the things for my classes and what we're going to be doing. And I want to include you. And we're gonna do some major stuff. I'm going to teach you. Because here's the truth. Me and that gentleman, we don't come from... I appreciate you too, Sharia. I appreciate you amazingly. Always a great supporter. He and I don't come from the same tradition. So we were never going to see eye to eye. But I have a hoodoo tradition in my family that uses the Bible as a great spell book to make things manifest. And if you really and truly are tired of living paycheck to paycheck, going to bed alone, trying to understand your life, then I suggest you get in on some of these classes. It's going to be so powerful. So powerful. So before I sign off, would anybody else like a card? Because we got 5 people on the line. I want to make sure that everybody gets service before I go. And again, clean up your inner courts, guys. Not everybody needs or deserves access to you. I put up a meme a couple of weeks ago, and the meme says, "Oh, I went and checked my bank account since you unfriended me. Not a dime gone." What does that mean, basically? If it doesn't change the trajectory of your life, let it go. Spirit is removing people from you so that you can gain stronger access to what you're supposed to have. Spirit wants to remove those stagnant people, that stagnant energy, and it give you increase. And I don't know anybody who's not okay with increase. So, guys, I love you to the moon and back. Today is Thursday. I'm not doing a live Friday. I'm not doing a live Saturday. But I will see you guys on Sunday. Okay? Love you guys to the moon and back. Love and light. Clean out your inner courts and get those stagnant people out. Love you. Bye. Hi, Kiosha. Oh, man, you guys are coming on just as I'm signing off. Need a card before I go? Or is everybody good? Hi, cousin. Just let me know real quick because I'm about to sign off if you need a card before I go. Okay, no one is saying anything. So I'll see you guys Sunday night. Be prepared. It's going to be good. We're going to be on fire. And I'm going to talk about some real good stuff. Love and light. And shadow.